We visit the most amazing places in Texas in only 7 days, all in a rental camper van. I'm about to share with you this top 10 list, so get pen and paper. We'll kick things off with some intriguing stays from an alpaca farm to a winery, and then bring on the star of the show, the most remote national park Big Bend. With epic hikes and secret hot tubs along the way, we'll even wander through the ghost town of Terlingua and cross the border into Mexico on the mule. No donkey for us.
They stole our donkeys.
Be careful. The largest underground national park, and take you from defying a sandstorm, sliding in sand dunes, all the way to a Longhorn Bull Parade in Fort Worth. And you want to watch this, because I'm going to share with you why this was my first and last rodeo.
I don't know, this is weird, but...
Plus, get ready for some animal encounters along the way. I look in the front of the window where I was going to put the drone, and there's a freaking tarantula on the street.
The signs for be aware of mountain lions and bears, and we're humans, we're making noise, get out of the way.
Here's to chasing our next adventure. Let's go.
Amiga, sing with me. Hakuna Matata.
If you're new to the channel, welcome. I travel from Orlando, Florida, where I call home, and I rent camper vans around the United States to live the wildest adventures. And this time, you'll definitely see with me why they call the Wild Texas.
Alright everyone, we're here in Orlando International Airport to start Texas Season 3. Let's do this.
And for me, any flight hours is office hours for the YouTube channel, working on these videos for you. But I love it.
We just got off the plane and I was so quick with all these items. But I forgot my scarf, so the sweet lady from the front desk here is going back to the plane to get it for me. This will be a season of tracking all these items because it's cold, so there's like gloves, scarves, extra layers and ear covers, and let's see how it's gonna be at the remaining of the trip.
Yay! Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Retrieved. Let's go.
On the roads. Oof. Bit concerning. Uber update. We had to layer up because out here is 48 degrees, which is not too bad. I'm gonna put in a Celsius right here. Pra galera do Brasil, eu já perdi a noção, gente. So, yeah, I'm a little concerned because there's icy on the road here. And I've never drove on icy roads and with the van. So let's see how that's gonna go. I'll see you there.
All right, here we are again. This time we're a little bit of outside normal operating hours, right?
And meet Raul, everyone. He took great care of me. He's from DFW Outdoor Rentals, and I can't wait to share. You have a special discount to rent this van with him. I'm gonna share with you right at the end of our van tour.
In here, but yeah, Selena's here with me, so this is gonna be a first, guys. We're gonna have Selena right here. She's gonna tell us a little bit about where she's taking the Solus and a little bit about her YouTube channel.
Hi everyone, my name is Selena. Y'all can call me Sally. I'm from Let's Adventure, and you all in this episode, so it's a big episode with all of you.
And now that this trip is over, I cannot recommend enough this rental with Raul. So stick to the end for the discount code, and definitely join me for a live next week, because I'm gonna share why you should not rent through Outdoorsy. Do not get on that trap.
We are finally at Walmart, and this was a way longer process than the previous times because we have to check on that van in the dark because, you know, my flight got here later in the day. So I'm gonna do a tour of the van tomorrow with daylight. But now let's load this van with food because I'm starving and it's so cold. So I think I'm gonna do like some tomato soup and grilled cheese. Let's go shop first.
And $219 was our total for two for a week of traveling with some basic food, cleaning, and toiletries.
So it's been a very hectic rush day. Rush at home to get to the airport, rush to pack the bags, getting here, getting the van, it's dark, getting to Walmart. And once we get to the van, I'm trying to get permission from the manager to spend the night over here in the parking lot at Walmart. It's too late for me to drive all the way to Salina. Also, I don't know, there's no situation there on the street, so let's see how this will go here. I'll let you know when I get to the van.
We're driving around the parking lot and look at this mountain of ice on the side here. Ew. And we start the season on the boondocking side. Wish me good luck. I read in the ads that people slept in this Walmart parking lot before. I spoke to the manager of the store. She was okay with me staying here. She directed me kind of to this area where I am. So I'm gonna try to quickly put those groceries away and go to bed because it's late. I haven't eaten yet, so I have some tomato soup and grilled cheese in the menu. Let's see. Let's put some of this stuff away. Let's get this organized. Quick fix menu for tonight after this rush of just unpacking the groceries, some basic stuff, doing a little bit of minor cleaning, is grilled cheese and tomato soup for this winter day. Just finished cleaning the dinner. It's time to close camp, go to sleep.
Good morning, adventurers. It's 7:30 in the morning. We had a very peaceful night here in this parking lot. I felt some like vibrating of the van and the floor throughout the night. Like I searched on the internet if there are earthquakes here, and they say it's very common to have earthquakes here. So I wonder if we had a minor one overnight. All right, my level of anxiety for sleeping in Texas just went up high. All right, let's get off this bed. It is very, very cold. I'm very glad for these fuzzy pajamas. Let's get ready and check what's the weather like in Salina and see if we're gonna go there or explore the town here. All right, now that we got ready, let's brew some coffee, put some clothes away, and head to Salina.
One thing that is important to note about spending the night in a Walmart parking lot is don't overstay your welcome. Get there late, shop in the store to support the business. If you want to be courteous, you can ask the permission of the manager like I did. A lot of people don't. And leave early. Don't bring your camping and cooking outside. Finally, coffee in hands, let's head up to the town of Salina, Texas. And the closer we got to Salina, more snow I found on the ground. And definitely the more pictures and videos I started to take. I made this town a mark to visit because of course it has my name and spelled exactly the same. But I wouldn't say this is a tourist spot you really need to come. But definitely explore some of the smaller towns in Texas. I think getting off of the beaten path is an experience you always should do in any travel. You end up finding interesting places and people you would never cross with otherwise. There's nothing better at the start of a busy trip than taking a moment to slow down, to deviate from the plan, wander into a charming little town, and just see what you find. Salina, Texas greeted me with small shops, family-owned restaurants, friendly faces, and stories waiting to be told. Sometimes, the best parts of the journey are the ones you didn't plan. And I even caught some nice brunch with live music at Lucy's on the Square. And there's a live music, everyone.
I want you for your life, for you.
So the choice here was their special
on eggs Benedict, which is definitely my brunch favorite. Let's see how it is.
And I definitely had to be one of those weirdos. Alright, let me stop obsessing with taking pictures of all the plaques with my name and let's head to the alpaca farm. So this is number one of the hidden gems in Texas. This visit to an alpaca farm was definitely remarkable for this trip. Arrived at Rock and Wine, which is our stay for the night. And we're gonna take a little tour here to go see the alpacas in some great company. And over there is snow. I'm not talking about the snow on the ground, I'm talking about the dog. Wow, how beautiful.
And then here is Valentina in the coat.
Oh, hi, Valentina.
She is
Hello.
She's going to be 5 on Valentine's Day. And
Is that why her name then?
yes, that's why
Valentina
her
from
name is
Valentine's.
Mhm. The release of the egg. So this is Billy Idol.
Hi, Billy. Say hi to everyone. Say hi, everyone. Hello.
Oh, they just ate. They're just.
Oh, everyone is saying hi.
Oh, Valley's
Hi,
gonna smile
Valley.
for you.
Oh, you like cameras?
She's
Yeah.
Give me a treat.
Hey, look. Smart. All right, everyone. So we are closing everyone up because we are gonna get an up close and personal experience. Wow. Girls, there's food. Oh my God, I'm nervous. Bye.
Dogs, cats, a lot of animals, especially domesticated ones, are groomed. They groom themselves, they groom each other, and so they have that in their life vocabulary. Alpacas don't. Alpacas don't groom themselves and they don't groom each other, so being touched is not part of their life. And so they're not touchy-feely, cuddly animals. They're pretty insular and independent.
Interesting.
You want to try it?
Yeah. I'm terrified. Ah! Ah! Okay, I can say I fed an alpaca before.
Elena is a scooper also.
Hi, Elena.
Elena's my favorite girl.
Now we are having an alpaca dinner feast, everyone. So everyone, definitely worth a stop on your RV or camper van trip. I'm gonna leave all the information on the video description so y'all can come visit this farm if you are in Texas. Definitely worthy a visit to Selena and this farm just to do something different and experience life. Amy was an absolutely sweetheart giving us, you know, the touchy tour of the farm. Now I'm gonna turn the van around and she gave me an amazing parking spot to have the sunset with the view of the fields. Let's do it. Spending the night in an alpaca farm in Selena, Texas, we're gonna pick up my friend Gayo in the airport today and drive nearly 400 miles crossing rural Texas. The plan? Make it to a winery before dark. But with this much road ahead, of course things didn't go smooth. Good morning, everyone. Today we're watching a sunrise from the bed. Just like that. There's something magical about waking up with the sun rising in a place you've never been before. The quiet of the morning, minus the rooster, and the coziness of your hotel on wheels. Well, talking about our hotel on wheels, today is the day to go pick up Gayo in the airport, so we need to make sure this is looking good for her first impression of what a camper van is. So we start the day by unpacking bags, putting the remaining of the clothes away, and getting ready to hit the road. But of course, I had to go through my favorite part of traveling in a camper van routine: coffee with a view.
After this awesome night in this farm and these amazing images you are seeing of the space around here with the snow, it looks so pretty. It's time to head back to Dallas, pick up my friend Gail, who is joining us for this season. I can't wait for you all to meet her.
Another of my favorites of camper van traveling is that you can stop anywhere and make some food. So while I listen from Gail that she landed and ready for me to pick her up, I'm making us a pair of peanut butter jelly sandwiches because I feel our schedule is gonna be pretty packed from here on. Picking up Gail at the Fort Worth Dallas airport turned into an unexpected adventure, and not the kind of ones that we like. This place is massive. I mean, it's literally bigger than the entire island of Manhattan in New York. Did you know that? With 5 terminals, its own highway system, and construction happening everywhere, I spent nearly an hour doing circles trying to figure out where to go. But once we got over all of that and Gail is in, it was time to figure out some van chores.
It's always a figuring out system.
We stopped at this RV store I found in the app iOverlander, which helps you find locations to fill water, top your propane, and other things RV related. Lesson number 1 is don't just assume that this is an RV store that people will know what they're doing. Having rented multiple camper vans before, if there's one thing I learned is you must know about your vehicle before your trip. I have created a PDF with all general information about rental camper vans for you. See the QR code on the screen, and I'll also leave in the video descriptions for you to grab.
Troubleshooter!
Luckily, I knew what I was doing, and lucky for you, I'm giving you 20% discount in that PDF I mentioned to you by you using the code TexasSeason20, so you can learn how to use all of this. But I'll give you some important information right now. To get propane in the van, you need someone certified to do that. And once we got water and propane topped off, it was time to hit the road. This drive did not stop surprising us.
Wow!
These were the lights of all the windmills blinking in synchrony at night, just something I've never seen before. And as we got closer, it was time to do some off-roading to get to the winery.
Turn left.
I don't think we're gonna turn left. We're laughing at the GPS.
So we have finally made, in the middle of nowhere, to this winery. And they just nicely waited for us to get here after hours, after all our troubles in the Dallas airport. And yes, there are 2 glasses and wine tasting waiting for us. Thank you so much, Triple D Ranch Winery. It's a nice space here too. And this is not sponsored. I cannot recommend enough finding a safe spot to camp using the Harvest Hosts app. There are a million places you can find within the US, and you can grab a discount with my QR code on the screen, and I'll leave it on the description on the video for you.
All right, we're gonna dive in, everyone. Wine number 1 is a Riesling. Cheers. Cheers, we made it.
After driving an entire day, y'all, I've been driving since 10 a.m. So yes, wine.
Why not?
Approved, amiga?
I'm not a big fan of whites. Sorry.
Okay, it's okay. We're gonna get to the reds.
But it's good though for a white.
We're gonna go one by one. So in conversation here, I was just thinking, shucks, I cannot drink that much because I'm driving. And then I'm like, we're sleeping in the winery. Heck yeah. Cheers to some more wine.
Cheers.
So let's fast forward wine drinking. You're gonna see how this goes. So tip number 2 is definitely put this winery in your list, especially if you're traveling with a camper van or an RV, because you can spend the night at it. And next morning it was time to hit our spot number 3, Carlsbad, the largest national park underground. We have officially made it to Carlsbad National Park, and driving in feels like an adventure on another planet already. We're gonna literally dive right in, but if you want details and tips on how to get passes for these parks, make sure you go back and watch this Carlsbad episode 3. So let's jump into this elevator and drop 750 feet down the ground and explore the famous Big Room, a limestone chamber so massive it could fit 6 football fields inside it, and it's the largest cave room by volume in North America. Here's tip number 1 if you're short on time like we were. We had to skip the steep switchbacks and rode the elevator 750 feet straight down into the belly of Carlsbad Caverns, a ride that takes just 1 minute, and the shortcut gives you nearly instant access to the legendary Big Room, saving you from a 1.25 mile, 75-story hike down through the natural entrance trail. And golden tip for you if you have the time, it takes an hour to do this descent, taking the beauty and then come back up in the elevator. As I step into the path, it feels like stepping into another world. Dark, silent, and unbelievably vast. Down here, time slows down. Every drip of water, every towering formation has taken thousands, sometimes millions of years to form. And hidden within these chambers is a story not just of geology, but of discovery, courage, and wonder. So now, let's go deeper into the story of Carlsbad Caverns and the people who first dared to explore its depths, with nothing but a lantern and a wild sense of curiosity. What I always claim is the number 1 thing you should take in life: curiosity. Come with me, explore. As you get deeper in the cavern, you step into the Big Room, the largest cave chamber by volume in North America, covering about 1.25 miles, 2 kilometers of trail. Its ceiling soars nearly 225 feet high, and its giant span is often linked to a Grand Canyon with a roof over it. Learning about these formations as you go through is so interesting. This is the Lion's Tail, a rare formation where a smooth stalactite ends in a burst of delicate cave popcorn. It's named for exactly what it looks like, a lion's stuffed tail, frozen in time by dripping minerals. Wild. Now, a fascinating, important story you must know when you visit this park is the story of Jim White. He was indeed just 16 years old in 1898 when he first discovered what we now know as the Carlsbad Caverns. He was a cowboy working on a nearby ranch when he saw what he described as a volcano of black smoke rising in the distance. It turned out it was a massive swarm of bats exiting the cave at sunset. We'll talk about that later, so stay tuned. Intrigued, Jim made a homemade ladder from fence, wire, and tree branches and descended into the cave with only a lantern, becoming the first known person to begin exploring the vast underground chambers. At that time, there was no formal documentation, no tourism, and no infrastructure. He explored for years before anyone believed his claims. He's credited for turning this hidden underworld into a major tourist destination. Thank you, Mr. White. visiting this cavern that I missed, but I don't want you to miss. As I mentioned, Jim White was first intrigued about coming and explore what was underground when he saw what he thought it was a volcano black smoke in the air. That actually first revealed the mystery hidden beneath the desert.
True or false? Nothing lives in the caves. There are no monsters here, but there are other creatures. Brazilian? What? Brazilian free-tailed bats.
Who knew my fellow Brazilians lived here too? Today, over 400,000 of them call this cave home, and from late May through October, they perform a spectacular aerial show almost every evening at dusk. I have to admit, I didn't plan my visit quite right. I missed the bats, I missed my fellow Brazilians, but if you time it well, you witness millions of tiny wings slicing the sky. The park even built an amphitheater where rangers host bat flight programs during the summer. So if you ever find yourself in New Mexico, plan your visit between June and August, arrive before sunset, sit back, and let the bats lead you into the same wonder Jim White discovered over a century ago. It is nearly impossible to make justice of these images to you here in a camera. So I really hope you put that in your travel bucket list and go experience yourself literally immersing in this deep world of amazingness. We crossed the border earlier today into New Mexico to go to Carlsbad. We didn't realize they are in mountain time. And even though we were doing everything according to plan, we ended up losing a full hour. So it was time to make change in our plans. That's my favorite part of traveling in a camper van. Any change of plans, you have everything right there with you. Your food, a change of clothes, whatever it may need to be. Snack time and sunset and wine. Let's do this. Got no hands to close the door. Cheers to making the best of changing plans, living in the moment, and friendship. And talking about unplanned moments, here it goes to the cutest wild animal encounter.
Hi, Javalinas! Hi! How you guys doing? Oh, hi, Pumbaa! Amiga, sing with me. Hakuna Matata! What a wonderful phrase! Hakuna Matata! I will close it. Ain't no crashing craze. It means so cute! You're so cute! For the rest of your days, it's a problem-free philosophy. Hakuna Matata.
Amiga, this was such a cool encounter. See, this is the encounter I'm okay with. Yeah, bye, Pumbaa.
Next, and number 4 in our list, head to the McDonald Observatory, where you can see those massive telescopes on top of the mountain, to experience something I've never done before, a star party. At the time of this video, star parties run every Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday evenings, and reservations are strongly recommended as they often sell out. As we step into the darkness, only red lights guide our path, designed to preserve our night vision for what's ahead.
Holy cow, this is awesome, everyone.
This was a different gather round at night. This isn't evening campfire storytelling. This is real science under a real universe.
So mapping out these galaxies, and so this will prepare on the expansion rate of the universe.
Our guide has a pointer directing us to the exact star we needed to see in the real dome of the skies, reminding us that these patterns in the stars once shaped human myths, and now we'll see them come to life. I learned how to find Polaris, the North Star, by tracing a line from the outer edge of the Big Dipper. And just like that, the sky unfolded. From the North Star, I could find Cassiopeia's crown, the Orion's belt, and the strong arc of the Summer Triangle. How cool is that?
So Pegasus, really goes to the head of Pegasus and the neck and the nose. Anybody know what that bright thing is? Venus, exactly. That is the planet Venus.
And just when I thought it couldn't get more magical, our group moved toward the telescopes. One by one, we took turns peering into deep space. It's really sad I couldn't grab the amazing, most magical images I was seeing through these telescopes. But at least you can see how cool they were. And this is an image I got of the moon out there.
Nice view of the moon. There, the craters are formed by meteors with the moon.
This fast, fully steerable 12-meter wide radio telescope at the base of Mount Lockheed is the newest addition to the McDonald's Observatory campus. This new observatory focuses on geodesy, the science of Earth's shape, gravity, and rotation, and how these change over time. It was time to go inside and explore a little bit, and something I had no clue I would be able to see. This piece of iron is a meteorite and was discovered about 15 miles northwest of where I'm standing by a 7-year-old boy named George Duncan. No one knows the date or the century that it actually fell into the earth. It was found in 1903 and exhibited as a curiosity item in a store. It returned to the Davis Mountains in 1987, and here it lives. And here comes number 5 in our list. The star party may be over, but our galactic night isn't done just yet. We're chasing something even more mysterious now. Deep into the desert, toward a place where strange lights have been seen dancing in the sky for over hundreds of years, said to be UFOs, but they are called Marfa Lights. To get there, we drove through what felt like a ghost town. Silent, eerie, and totally deserted. No cell service, just the map I had downloaded with the pinned location. People in the van life community said to be safe to spend the night and experience the Marfa Lights. Now, are we gonna be able to see them? So we just parked in the Marfa Lights Observatory. It's like a viewing point. It's literally like a pullover on the side of the road. There are 2 other vans here, and I researched about boondocking over here. That's what we're gonna do. So the Marfa Lights, let's get outside so I can show you and I'll tell you the story. Yeah. So the Marfa Lights is a phenomenon that you can see some glowing yellow lights like in the horizon line. So if anything, this is an amazing spot to come and stargaze. And we're gonna see if we can see them from inside the van after we shower because it's so cold. So that's the situation here at the end of the night. It's the both of us on our laptops and iPads working. But it's okay. It's for a good cause.
Yeah.
After working, checking, and showering, unfortunately, we were not able to experience it. So I went online and found you some images so you can have an idea of all this mystery that goes around these Marfa Lights. They cannot be explained what they are, and there are many theories out there, including that they can be UFOs. You can go and explore for yourself, but we definitely experienced one of the most beautiful skies and a peaceful boondocking spot to spend the night. Instead of being afraid of a cop knocking at the door, we were afraid of an alien knocking at the door instead. After wrapping a night of crazy skies and sleeping in a town chasing UFOs, we head to Big Bend, the most remote United States national park. We finally made it to Big Bend National Park, and while most people just stopped for a quick photo at the sign, well, we're not most people. We definitely had to do a dance celebration for this moment. Welcome to Big Bend. Its name comes from the giant curve of the Rio Grande, which forms a natural border between the US and Mexico. But this place is more than just a river bend. It's the largest, most remote, and most diverse national parks in the United States. From soaring desert mountains to winding river canyons, Big Bend protects over 800,000 acres of rugged beauty and holds more than 10,000 years of human history.
And then I look in the front of the window where I was gonna put the drone, and there's a freaking tarantula on the street.
Of course, it's gonna prove me wrong. This darn thing.
Oh,
But it's just hanging out. It's not doing anything. It's really far away.
so you go there and put the drone. Maybe
I'll
she's gonna
do it
have a
for
nice
you.
flight.
I'll do it for you. You owe me big time.
You go put that drone out there with that tarantula on the street. Oh my God, this next is amiga. Don't do that. Well, the poop really looked like a tarantula for me. It was poop.
Loca.
I'm shaking for poop. Okay, let's move on. Let's fly the drone.
And that's how a pooperantula was born. So yeah, capturing the shots was a bit of an adventure on itself. Now coming up next is our stop number 6, Fossil Discovery Exhibit, where we came face to face with creatures that once ruled this desert millions of years ago. Welcome to the Big Bend Fossil Discovery Exhibit, a journey through over 130 million years of history right here in the desert. This area was once a lush coastal plain, then a subtropical forest, and even the shoreline of an ancient sea. The rocks around us told stories of everything, from tiny clams to learning about a Deinosuchus, one of the top predators of Big Bend's ancient swamps. And let's experience the view of this massive flying reptile, like the Quetzalcoatlus, with a wingspan as wide as a small airplane. Big Bend is one of the few places in the world where you can find fossils from age of dinosaurs all the way to the age of mammals, all in one park. So as you walk through, you're literally stepping back in time. And make sure you make time to take the short trail leading to a panoramic overlook. And keep your eyes open, because along the way you can spot fossils embedded right in the sediment. And eventually record your own Lion King and the Pride Rock scene. And this is what happened when you have an inbranded Disney brain. We just got to the Chisos Basin Lodge, where we're gonna have lunch in their restaurant. And the drive over here, everyone, absolutely amazing. Every curve, like these new mountains and views popped up, and the trees changing colors, like right at the end that start happening. And of course, the signs for be aware of mountain lions and bears, and be aware bear crossing, drop the speed to 15 miles per hour. Insane. So let's enjoy some good lunch with amazing views, you'll see, and continue on this adventure. Meet me. Right after checking in, you are open to this amazing view of this restaurant. And of course, we got a window seat. I strongly recommend you make a stop at this restaurant for lunch. And then number 7, the Ross Maxwell Scenic Drive. Insane views is little to say, and I'm sure these videos are not doing justice. But after lunch, this is the Ross Maxwell Scenic Drive. They say this is one of the most do things here at the Big Bend. And you just drive through these winding roads, massive, amazing views. And you have some pull-out spots that there's signs explaining you what you're seeing, things like that. So let's take a scenic view. And first stop, Jesus Mountain.
In between right here, this is the famous window.
Jesus Mountain, check. Next. Stop 2, Fins of Fire.
New Year's, check mark. Next.
I would say if you're interested in going in details of all these amazing stops in the Ross Maxwell Drive, go back and watch episode 6. It goes in depth about all the stops and details you must know for your drive, including driving very carefully not to run over these beauties you encounter along the way.
Hi. Yeah.
Stop number 8
is Castellon Historical Area.
Castellon is more than a quiet spot in Big Bend. It's a crossroads of history. Once a bustling trading post and military outpost, it witnessed the blending of cultures along the US and Mexico border. This area thrived during the cotton boom of the early 1900s. Farmers from both sides of the Rio Grande brought their harvest here, and this little settlement became the heartbeat of thriving border economy. From adobe walls to tales of ranchers, soldiers, and revolutionaries, every corner here holds a piece of frontier line frozen in time. Stop number 9. Welcome to Terlingua, a ghost town carved from mining dust and desert wind, where on the hillside just off the ghost town road lies a cemetery. And believe it or not, this is a must stop on your visit to Terlingua. A sunset here becomes a place of quiet magic, and most nights people stop here to capture the colors. But tonight it's just us, the desert, and the ghosts of the past. Once you arrive in the heart of the ghost town of Terlingua, your number 1 stop is the legendary Starlight Theater, Terlingua's once forgotten movie house turned desert nightclub. Make sure if you want to dive into more details about this town and tips that you go back and watch episode 7. This famous star of Terlingua has an interesting story. Now it's part roadhouse, part music hall, part living room for locals. The porch? Sacred. It's where beers are sipped, songs are shared, and sunsets go on forever. Make sure you stop in first to put your name on the list, and then right around the corner, one of those best trinket stores for you to lose yourself in.
We made it to the Starlight Theater, and everyone, this is an experience. Like, Terlingua, if you're coming to Big Bend, is a must stop. And there was a 45-minute wait for a dinner, but they recommended to go to the shopping next door. So, oh man, oops, we did it again. Got some earrings.
The dinner at the Starlight Theater was very enjoyable, and make sure you write down this tip. Try their antelope bites.
Good morning, everyone. It's freaking 6 a.m. We are tired, but it's day to hike Santa Elena. Let's do this.
Big Bend is a massive park, and if you're planning to visit everything in a short amount of time, you need to be strategic on how you do your rounds. After Terlingua, we drove about 21 miles to get to the Santa Elena Canyon. This is definitely a must-do of Big Bend, and it's stop number 10 for us.
We have arrived at the parking lot for this hike, and I am literally freaking out because it's just us. There's no other cars here, so let's see what happens. Hopefully someone will come in. We are packing some basic stuff because this is a short hike. It's an hour hike in and out. All right, and the anxiety is like peak high, so.
The level of nervousness right here is like the same I felt before I go skydive. We're humans, we're making noise, get out of the way. Shit, oh, there's another car. Thank the Lord. Oh, they're just getting here. So these people from the car has like a big dog, and I just saw the dog crossing and I was like, coyote, bear, what is that? Oh God. Guys, this is gonna be amazing. Oh, let's get started. All right, everyone, so we're doing this hike and we just met Matt and Jax. Blessings from the sky, so we have some more people, and Jax is gonna protect us, right, Jax?
Right, Jax?
Yes.
Considering the list of wild animals we could encounter in this hike, and that we were the first ones entering the trails, made me pretty scared and apprehensive that we could actually have those encounters. But this first encounter was definitely the cutest one, and Jax was super cute, watching out for all of us throughout the trail. If you want to catch the details about the Santa Elena hike, I strongly recommend you watch episode number 8, since it will give you all the details about this hike. The view getting up was absolutely mind-blowing already, and to think for thousands of years this canyon and the Rio Grande have drawn people into these waters. On our side, the US, and on the opposite side of the river, Mexico. Today, more than 100,000 acres are protected as Big Bend National Park, and nearly 500,000 visitors have been here.
This will really put you into perspective on how small we are. And I'll tell you, this camera is doing zero justice to this. But at least you get a peek. Maybe you come here and hike this too.
We did this hike during the winter time in January. So if you come here in the summer, you also need to be aware of the heat this area gets. Also, be aware of the wild animal encounters you can have in this area, which includes black bears, mountain lions, scorpions, rattlesnakes, and tarantulas. Ay, 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 ay. And this is the part we thought we were gonna come face to face with a bear.
So Matt and Jax were... What'd you find?
Are you making noises?
Noises, noises! Jax is like, let's go. Guys, don't leave me last here. I'm terrified. Don't leave me behind.
Luckily, we just found what looked like a wild animal home, but no one was around checking on us. At least, not so far. Luckily for us, this far, besides Jax, this was the only wild animal encounter we had. A big high five to you, Big Bend.
Woo!
I gotta say, this stop was absolutely breathtaking. Finally made it down to the Rio Grande waters, right at the bottom of the canyon. Look at this.
This is sick.
This is really sick.
So we made it to the end of the Santa Elena hike. Jax is living his best life, right, Jax?
Yeah. And y'all, this is absolutely stunning. Echo. I had to do that.
Most of you may not know, but I lost my baby Bailey about 3 years ago, and he was my buddy for everything called adventure. Every time I get the opportunity to get some doggy love, I do. But for me, this hike that I was so scared to do, it was like my baby looking after me and send a friend to let me know I'm with you. I love you, baby Bailey. Get it, Jax, get it, Jax, get it, Jax, get it. The Santa Elena hike was absolutely beyond my expectations. And this right here was another of my favorite animal encounters in the park. Meep, meep. Meep, meep. I have a very cartoonish brain, and it's funny to think how these first images we have of these animals in a cartoon makes us expect like this bigger animal. But he was so cute, and the way he was just slowly interacting with us and passing by made our day. Done for the hike. Safe of animals, but not safe of the least favorite part of the
Bye, our friends.
Bye, Matt. Bye, Jack. So now, let's dump the dump. And it's not all fun and games. Sometimes you also have to do the chores of the camper van, and it was time to empty our bathroom stuff. We were just having too much fun with this. So this is it, everyone. This is how you get rid of shit. Now that shit's done, we can get over with this. It's time to hit the road again to adventure number 11, crossing the border to Mexico for lunch. And if you're curious about watching all the details of this, make sure to go back and watch episode number 7.
We have just arrived at the border of patrol in between the US and Mexico. So passports are in, some cash to pay for the boat ride we'll need to take to cross the river, some cash to pay for the mule ride we'll need to get to town. Let's see how this goes.
I cannot stress enough for you to make sure you have your passport all up to date, and that you know the hours of operation of the border, and that you make sure that you are back here before it closes. Otherwise, you'll be spending a wild night in Mexico.
Welcome to Mexico, everyone. We made it through the border. We're technically not still in Mexico, and once we cross the river, we are. Let's get this process started.
If the water is this low, you can literally walk across the river, but we didn't want to get our boots wet, so why not? We took the boat ride.
They are preparing our rides.
Now, this was definitely the full experience you need to have to cross the border to Mexico. Now, stay tuned, because we're gonna give you a tip of what not to do with these people so you don't get stranded like we did.
Woohoo! Yeehaw!
No hay instrucciones, que no te caigas, esa es la única instrucción. Esa es la única cosa que es importante, que no hay manual, no hay manual.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, amiga.
Cheers, amiga.
Cheers to Mexico.
And now with the famous goat tacos, everyone. How is this gonna taste?
So there are two main restaurants once you get to Boquillas, and they compete against each other. But what I strongly recommend is that you get this goat tacos on the restaurant on the right, and then you cross the street and have lunch on the opposite restaurant. It was delicious. Not to mention the incredible views of the mountains in the other side. As well, if you're a tag collector, you can buy incredible tags over here from different parts of the world.
I found the van.
And don't forget to go around shopping and support the local art.
All right, guys, we're walking. Looks like we're walking, Sally.
No donkey for us.
They stole our donkeys.
Be careful. Do not pay them both ways.
Only
Just
once.
pay one way because they do not guarantee you.
Only pay them
your
half.
ride back.
Tell them they'll get the other half when we get back.
Yep, be very careful with the promises these people make because they cannot keep it. When we got back, the donkeys were not there waiting for us, so we had to walk all the way. Good thing we allotted plenty of time to be back in the embassy before it closed.
But at least the guy with the boat is here. I guess that was gonna be a little worse if this one had left us behind. We will have to cross the water, which is not too deep. It's just, you know. And just like that, we're back from Mexico into the United States.
Next is the kind of experience you just can't have here in the border of US and Mexico. This is a shop on an honor system, and here's how it works.
Arts and crafts for sale. Please help the people of Boquillas, Mexico. Buy something here since many families depend on this. The cost is $10 per thing, except those that have different prices. Please deposit the money in the green jars. Thank you. We got our money in here. Let's shop around. They have burros, the ones that were not there for our way back. Do you want one, amiga?
Yes, please.
Here you go, 2 burros to represent the ones that were not waiting for us to ride back. So we finally got them. Let's pay the honor system.
The day is almost over, but our adventures are not. Stop number 12 is a magical, rejuvenating place.
Taking the exit to the hot springs and off-roading apparently we go.
There are 2 parking lots when you get to the springs. One a little further away and another one after this very narrow and off-roading type of road. So depending on the vehicle you are coming, you are able to go further and check on the next parking lot. But driving a rented camper van, we didn't want to risk it, so we walked. To watch this episode in full details, make sure you go back to episode 8. But from here, we're gonna get a taste of this amazing place. A century ago, this remote bend in the Rio Grande was more than wilderness. It was a destination. With new roads and bold advertising, health seekers and vacationers got here in search of healing waters, known as Langford's Hot Springs Resort, which thrived through the 1920s and 30s. Here's also another division of countries, Mexico on the other side and US on our end.
So we made it to the hot springs. It's right down there.
This hot spring, heated by underground geothermal forces, can bubble up to 105 degrees, carrying mineral salts that once were believed to restore health and vitality. In the 1900s, when Langford, a homesteader who came here sick, claimed his health returned after 21 days of daily soaks.
So we made it to the hot springs on the hottest day of this trip. That's so unfair after all the cold. So right here is the Rio Grande River.
And then right here is the springs. Pretty cool. I mean, pretty hot.
And the special from the hot springs comes directly from the other side, from another country. Tamales and tacos, a $10 plate, special for the day. And me and Gail definitely got the healing from our pains from the hike today, and especially scored some incredible views of the Rio Grande while soaking in.
Just walking back from the hot springs, I feel rejuvenated, I feel younger. Lovely. So now it's time to take the next long drive. We have 3.5 hours to get to the next spot. Challenging part, originally we planned to get there in daylight, but because we had to do that Santa Elena hike today, we end up leaving here at the last light of the day, and we're gonna get there right before the park closes at 10. We should be getting there around 9:30 p.m. So yeah, running a little tight on schedule here. Are we gonna be able to make it into the park? Cross your fingers for us. Let's go.
Come adventure with us as we leave the Santa Elena Canyon and drive over 200 miles to get to the Monahan Sandhills State Park to literally fight over a sandstorm. The drive out of the Big Bend National Park was absolutely stunning, with the platinum sunset painting the background and an unbelievable 3 hours driving until we saw civilization again and found signals back on our cell phones. This episode is full of funny stories and drama, so I strongly recommend you go back to episode 9 if you want to know what this is.
Chukura the story, please include this in this episode. Selena from the future, Selena from the past. I love you, girl. Bye.
I'm so glad that that scene only happened in our imagination and that when we got to the park, the gates were still open.
So a sign with warning that this is the home of rattlesnakes. Fantastic. So now we're trying to find where the camping area is. Camp 8. There's a car in our camping spot. So luckily the gentleman of the trailer just came out and said that he has a hard time pulling his trailer around, so he thought no one was coming this late. Of course, it is almost 10 p.m. our time here. All right, everyone, let's come out in the sand where they say be careful to step on the sand for rattlesnakes. But can you see shit? Because I cannot see shit. I just cursed.
This part was really scary because we had just seen the warning signs for rattlesnakes everywhere. Be careful when you step on the sand. And here we are arriving in this unknown place at pitch black dark and coming outside to try to refill water in the van and not being able to see if we're stepping on a rattlesnake.
Mission freaking freezing accomplished. Great, pitch black. Moonlight, thank you, moonlight. Good thing the rattlesnakes rattle, huh? So at least you can hear them.
After the struggles of last night and luckily not encountering a rattlesnake, it's time for number 13 to slide in the dunes of Monahan Sandhill Park.
In this very windy day in the Sand Dunes Park. Oh, it's just beautiful. Is it good? Am I approved? All right, everyone, let's dig in. It is a very windy day. There is a high wind advisory in the park. So we're headed to the visitor center to see if we can still slide the dunes down. But as you can see, the sky is even like very sandy. Let me show you here in the front window. We just got to the visitor center and it's so windy. I cannot open the door. Oh man. Officially welcome to Monahan Sand Hills State Park in Texas. This place is massive. These dunes shift with the wind overnight and some can rise over 70 feet high. And we definitely got some important information about where we could try to slide down the dunes with the conditions of the sandstorm we had. To start, we could barely walk out of the visitor center with those discs. The winds were pushing against my body and those discs so hard. I doubt we're gonna be able to do any sliding, but we're not giving up. So just coming back from the visitor center, oof, the wind. They're like clouds of sand. Let's see how much we can do because it's very hard with the wind. Like we could barely walk on the bridge right there right now going to the restrooms. So let's see if we can walk on top of those dunes and get to the big dune to slide. So we got to the sand dunes and hear this wind just trying to open the door of the car. Oh, that goes the bottle. Damn, no, we need to go. All right, let's go do this. We're being blasted by sand. Not sure we're gonna be able to do this. But with this wind. Here, do you wanna use the board to cover your face? Are you good? Oh, my eyes. The struggle was real, y'all, but we weren't ready to give up yet. Here's the sand coast. This is very hard. Just holding the phone is hard. In these conditions, we really didn't know if we wanted to go any further, but we also didn't want to give up, so we're like, let's try to slide on this side and see what happens. Yeah, keep scooping. Here goes Gail. I mean, we thought Gail was gonna go, but it was really hard to slide down. So we went on a higher hill and let's see how that goes. If only I could hold the board to put it down to try to slide first. Alright, we found a bigger hill ahead. So we're trying to... Whew, it's hard to hold this thing. It's flying everywhere. So we're gonna go try to climb that and see if we can slide because this one was didn't work. So I'm using my slide as a shield to be able to walk. It's really, really bad. It looks like we found a successful one, but this wind, y'all, you have no idea how hard this was. And of course, I had to strike a pose at the end. Alright, that was fun. We're climbing up again to do it again. It was all fun and games until we find rattlesnake eggshells. But that also didn't stop us. And we just wanted to do it again and again, but this one time climbing up, the wind literally knocked me down. This thing is costing me blood. But one last time.
Now you won't believe the surprise we had when we finished this adventure.
It was hard to come out with the wind. Coming back with the wind against us. This is so hard. I'm gonna put you guys in my pocket and get going. So we're getting back.
I can't believe this! This is awesome! No Jax! No Jax! So good seeing you! So good seeing you! He thinks it's a toy. And I love how travels just bring the most unexpected of friends. Time to return our discs. Go Gail, go Gail. Sandwiches are ready, but we remember we still need to fill the van with water because we were using it freely because we knew we had it. Duties of the van lifestyle, you always have to be looking for water and where to refill, but because we knew we could plug right outside the door in the park today, we kind of overused it, so better refill before we leave the park. And Gail got another good tumbleweed sighting before we take off. And this one literally crossed the street. That was awesome. And the challenges with the sandstorm was not done yet because we had to drive in the midst of it to head to Fort Worth. We made it to Fort Worth and spent a nice night in the parking lot of a gym from Harvest Hosts. As you roll through the gates of Fort Worth, Texas, you quickly realize the city is more than just Longhorns on parade. Founded in 1849 as a frontier army post, it grew into the heart of the cattle trade, earning the nickname Cowtown. But today, Fort Worth blends Wild West history with modern art, music, and Texas-sized flavor. And we've got one day to catch it all. So the remarkable stop 14 for your Texas trip is Fort Worth, Texas. Most specifically, we're trying to catch the famous Longhorn Bull Parade. But if you want to dive in more details, on episode 10, I shared the 10 must-do stops in this town, and you can find some pretty unique things to do here. A lot of people miss this opportunity and doesn't even know you can do that. But because you are here with me, you know you can go behind the stock building and go see the Longhorn Bulls and snap some pretty good pictures around here. These Texas Longhorns are direct descendants of the first cattle brought by Spanish settlers over 400 years ago. Their horns can span up to 7 feet wide, longer than a man is tall. Every Longhorn here has its own name and it's cared for daily by professional drovers. And we could experience firsthand how lovely of animals they are. Attraction of this town, so yes, people line up for this hours before the parade starts. So make sure you get a good spot for it. They also bring one of the cattle out so you can hop on it and take pictures while you wait. And there it is, the moment Fort Worth is famous for, the Longhorn Cattle Drive, led by real Texas drovers, thundering down Exchange Avenue just like it did over a century ago. These animals are the heart of the Cowtown, a living link to the days when millions of Longhorns were driven up the Chisholm Trail. Their horns can stretch wider than a car, yet they move with calm grace, reminding us why Fort Worth keeps the cowboy spirit alive twice every single day. It was quite interesting to watch and wonder if they bump into each other all the time, but funny enough, they did not. They really know how to handle those long horns. This is the only twice daily cattle drive in the world, right here in Fort Worth. Next best tip for you to make the best time in this town is to enjoy some barbecue at Risky's Barbecue. Traditional and delicious ribs, brisket, chicken, and turkey since 1927.
We got some beef brisket bites. Breaded. This sounds amazing.
Take your time.
Oh my god. Really good, everyone.
The next must thing to do while you're visiting Fort Worth is, of course, shopping, since you can find very unique places over here. If you're more on the tight side of the budget like me, I'll caution you right now, the stores on Exchange Avenue are more of your high-end brand stores, but it didn't stop us from window shopping and enjoying the authentic Texas products you can find here, including all the boots. Some of them were absolutely dreamy, but a nightmare for your wallet, like above $2,000 to $3,000. You can catch this full on details of shopping in Fort Worth on episode 11. Some shopping experiences here were so unique that I want to point out so you won't miss. You must stop at the fleece aisle. Beside regular items, in this store you go through the experience of building your own hat. With 4 full hat bars, there's also a really cool piece of decor, a hat bar carousel in the middle of the store featuring hat accessories that it's over 100 years old and came from Paris, France. This hat bar store allows you to personalize wide brim cowboy trucker styles hats with accessories like ribbons, feathers, patches, pins, branding and stitching, and even vintage embellishments. A true unique experience for your travel. The last stop I'm gonna tell you need to make on shopping is the Ariat store, where you can get free drinks and some nice live music while you shop around. A true Texas shopping experience.
Cheers everyone to awesome free drinks and amazing shopping at Ariat store.
And the last must do before you end your day in Fort Worth is to go explore the Stockyard Station. This station was originally built in 1911 as part of the livestock infrastructure. Here you find more restaurants, very unique shopping experiences, and a cheesy show you cannot miss, a cowboy shooting.
Wyatt Earp. Wyatt Earp. Wild Bill Hickok. Buffalo Bill Cody.
Honestly, the acting and the whole situation was very cheesy, but it's just something traditional from this area for you to see the entertainment that tells the stories of what used to happen at the Wild West. Oh, that got me startled. It was again a really cheesy show, but something unique for you to see, reenacting the Wild West while you're in it. A visit to explore Fort Worth, Texas is not completed without a traditional local rodeo. And yes, this was definitely my first rodeo. And to be honest, probably the last one. Come see why. Just arriving to the rodeo after enjoying some of Fort Worth's best parade stores and restaurants. And what a beautiful arena. Take a look at this, everyone. This arena isn't just another stadium. It's the soul of Fort Worth. The very first stock show and rodeo started way back in 1896. Fast forward over a century, and today it draws over 1 million people every year. The Will Rogers Coliseum, built in 1936, stood for decades as the rodeo's home, a true Art Deco landmark. And in 2019, the tradition expanded with Dickies Arena, bigger, bolder, but still built with the same dirt, the same chutes, and the same heartbeat. And even though I was away from Disney where I work, of course, I found a character meet and greet experience. So dinner tonight, right before the rodeo, is some brisket and fries. Let's see how this will go. And so the countdown for the grand event begins. A ranch rodeo isn't your typical bull riding or barrel racing. Ranch rodeos are designed to show the everyday skills real working cowboys use out on the ranch. Things like roping, branding, sorting cattle. If you're curious to dive a little more into it, episode 11 explains in details about each game. But here, we're just gonna get an overview. This part honestly gave me the chills. The energy in the arena was electric. You could feel the excitement vibrating through the crowd as the cowboys and cowgirls rode on their horses. Definitely a traditional presentation with each team introduced in full. Horses zigzagging, flags flying, and the arena absolutely buzzing. Cheers. When we first came in, I had no clue what the difference of a rodeo and a ranch rodeo was. I was expecting cowboys balancing on top of bulls and counting down the time until they hit the ground. But it came to a huge disappointment. That's not what I was about to witness. So for this impactful first game, the cowboys had to get the cow on the ground. And by that, they had to lasso its head and its legs and forcefully put it down on the ground and count how fast they were able to do that.
So I don't know, this is weird, but I totally respect the sport and what this is. But of course, this is my first experience with this, and I feel bad for the cows, like, this is stupid, but I feel bad for the poor animals. I was expecting, they trying to balance on top of it and whatever. I feel so bad for them, like, lassoing them and putting them on the ground. Ugh. But let's go back there and let's watch it.
When I recorded this, I was feeling really silly for feeling bad. But nowadays I look back and I respect my feelings and what I felt for the animal. To be honest, I was quite nervous deciding how I was gonna edit and share this episode, but I think it's honesty. It's about how we individually experience things, and also being open to learn about the sport and then decide if it is or it is not for you. Gail later mentioned to me, since this was not her first rodeo, that she also felt the same way when she first saw something like this. This definitely will never get my support again. I honestly cannot understand having to be this disrespectful to animals for your own entertainment. Next, I don't know if I was curious or terrified to see what the next game was gonna bring. But that was the decision maker. The game that was gonna make us stay or run away from a rodeo. Well, actually who is running is this group of kids. In a calf scramble, the goal is simple: to catch one. It's a real chaotic tradition at a rodeo. They run around the same time as the calves are running around, and the one who can catch one and bring it inside the square first normally wins money towards raising their own livestock or a scholarship. Yeah, I was also not quite sure how I felt about this one. But as quickly as that game started, they erased everything and we moved on to the next. Next up is stock sorting. I guess this one was the only doable of all the ones we watched. First, they organized the cattle all in the same corner, and then they let the team, the ones you see in the blue shirt, start the game. These riders have to move cattle from one pen to another in a very specific order, based on the numbers marked on each animal. And if you're curious to see and get the explanation on how each of these games work, make sure to watch episode 11.
Amiga, we like stock sorting. I love that, right? This one's fun.
Well, after that, it was not much fun again because it was just different names to continue disrespecting animals and call that some sort of skills. So I'm gonna skip forward to the only last part that mattered in this rodeo, which was the inspiring story of a little cowboy who fought a serious disease with his dream. Here is mutton busting, the cutest, wildest rodeo events for kids. Little ones hop on the back of a sheep and try to hold on as long as they can while it bucks and twists. It's short, chaotic, and it's absolutely adorable. And here's a warning, because this story is gonna break you too.
This young man woke up one morning and he was not able to feel his hands or his legs. A couple days later, he was diagnosed with idiopathic transverse myelitis. For 23 days, he couldn't walk. His parents would pull him around the hospital in a wagon. Every single day, he would watch rodeo. One of those days, he said, "Dad, I want to get out of this wagon because I learned from watching rodeo that cowboys are tough, and I need to be tough." It was that day that he walked again. It was that day that he decided to live again. And on this day, not only is he walking, not only is he a walking miracle from the good Lord above, but he is your champion mutton buster. What are you going to tell Isaac Miller? So he wins the trophy, he wins the buckle, the $500 check from our partners at Cross Bank. But Isaac, I want to talk to you just for a second. You came all the way from Pennsylvania to ride this sheep at one of the most legendary rodeo in the world. Was it pretty fun? Do you want to do it again? Do you want to ride a bull next?
Yes.
Do you want to ride a horse next?
No.
Or just sheep and bulls, that's your limit? Okay, Isaac, so we're pretty inspired by your story. We're thankful that you're here with us because your toughness inspires every single one of us. Because there's no greater champion in life than a youngster who has fought the battle and has won. And so right now, that buckle not only signifies that you're a champion, but it signifies to these people when you raise it up above your head, it's time for them to get on their feet and give you the champion's ovation that you deserve. So forward.
But that's the rodeo for you, a tradition that can be wild, strange, and sometimes infuriating all at once. Don't get me wrong, I understand it's a sport, but this was my blunt and most honest opinion. This level of disrespect to the animals, I cannot understand. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever been to a rodeo before and what did you think after watching this.
So that was something. We'll talk more about it.
Unfortunately, as this rodeo comes to an end, this season is also wrapping up, and I want to thank you all so much for staying with us, traveling and adventuring around Texas. And if you're not yet, make sure you subscribe and mark your calendars, because next Sunday we meet live together here in the channel at 6 p.m. I cannot wait to be able to share with you what's happening to this channel next, and also advise you and warn you, if you're thinking about renting a camper van, do not rent one from Outdoorsy. Come with me next Sunday and let's have a chat. I can't wait to see you there.
We just finished packing everything, and it was a bunch of packing and unpacking and trying to make everything fit and cleaning the van, putting things back in place. And right now it is, what time is it right now, Gail? It is 12:30 and at 4:30 we need to be out of here. So let's try to get a nap so we can make it to return the van. So sad that it's return the van time. And head to the airport. I'll see you then.
Thank you again, adventures. I'll see you next Sunday. And here's the playlist of this entire season for you to catch up.